Yeah, hi everyone. Sorry for the delay. There is a bit of a network problem. Like actually, power cut हो गया है, and I am right now. Am I audible to everyone right now? Can you guys see the screen now? All right, great, great. ठीक है. Just give me 2 minutes. I will. हाँ, I'm right now using hotspot only. Just give me 2 minutes and we'll resume. ठीक है. All right. ठीक है. So yeah, as I was talking about this time taking aspect. अच्छा, am I audible now, everyone? Can you guys see the screen properly? ठीक है. Great, thank you. All right. So yeah, as I was talking about this part of limitation of thermodynamics, the second limitation which I was talking about was that in thermo, we will not be able to deal with the time taken for the processes. Like I was giving an example of a chemical reaction. Let's say there is certain reaction in which reactants go to products. Now reaction hoga ki nahi hoga, that is something which thermodynamics can tell us whether the reaction will be feasible or not. And also what thermodynamics can tell us is that during this reaction, how much of heat will be released or how much of heat will be absorbed. That is also something which thermodynamics can provide as an information for. However, the reaction will happen in a slow manner or in a fast manner. That is not something which thermodynamics will be able to tell us. Whether the reaction will be slow, whether the reaction happens in seconds or in hours, that will not be something which is related by thermodynamics. So with these two limitations in mind, we will begin our discussion of thermodynamics. And to set up, the context of thermodynamics, we require to understand, certain important terms, right? So I will be using these terms a lot in this chapter, and I would want you and everyone to be familiar with these terms as we progress. So let's talk about the first term, or in fact, a first bunch of terms: system, surrounding, and universe. So we'll be using these terms quite often. So you will have system will be that part of universe which we are studying for energy exchanges, right? And surrounding is something which will be rest of the universe, right? So for example, if I am say analyzing a gas in a closed vessel, then this will be my system and everything around it will be my surrounding. And of course, system plus surrounding together make up for what we call as universe. Now, what separates system and surrounding is boundary. Now, boundary is an interesting concept. In fact, a lot of you are going to be working a lot on something called as boundary conditions when you will be studying many chapters in future. So boundary or interface does play a very, very important role. Acha, is my voice still cracking or is it better? Okay. Let's see, थोड़ा थोड़ा बीच में ups and downs आते रहते हैं. All right. So yeah, as I was talking about boundary, तो यहाँ पर आप notice करना boundary के बारे में, it can be real or imaginary also. For example, if you have something like an open vessel, right? So open vessel में, in order to define the system, in order to define the gas inside, or in order to understand what is present that we are studying, we sometimes need to define an imaginary boundary also. So for this open vessel, there would be a set of real boundaries and there would be a set of hypothetical or imaginary boundary that we might define. Boundaries can be rigid or flexible, right? For example, you have a closed vessel and you have a closed vessel with a movable piston. So there is a difference between the two. In one case, the walls or the boundaries are rigid, like volume will be constant, whereas in the other case, we can have a flexible boundary where volume can change. Then boundaries can be, this is also an important classification, in fact, a very important one, wherein boundaries can be adiabatic. We will be using this term called adiabatic, which means non-conducting. What do I mean by this? That there will be no heat that will be passing through those walls. Like for example, in practical life, you can think of a thermos flask, right? In that thermos flask, the temperature of substance that is inside it, is maintained for a long duration of time because there is no heat that can get exchanged. Okay. However, the definition of adiabatic will not be, dt equal to 0. ठीक है, यहाँ पर आप notice करना, as I said last time also, adiabatic will be something which is non-conducting. It does not mean that temperature will be constant. ठीक है, ये गड़बड़ इंटरप्रिटेशन हो जाएगा इसका. ठीक है, इनफैक्ट अभी जस्ट थोड़ी देर पहले ही जो मैंने आपको फायर सिरिंज वाला एग्जांपल बताया था, ठीक है, द वीडियो दैट वी जस्ट सॉ, उसमें व्हाट यू कैन थिंक ऑफ इट इज दैट it is kind of adiabatic situation because we are doing the process fast, like we are not giving time for heat to escape. We are doing work and as a result the temperature increased inside, and as a result the spark was there, the cotton ball ignited. Okay. However, we'll be studying in a more systematic manner when studying on paper. That was more of a practical experiment. Or the vessels of a wall can be diathermic. So we'll be using this word also quite often. What it means is that the vessel ka wall are perfectly conducting. Okay. So that is about boundary. Now, अब notice करना आप some other sets of words which we are going to again use quite often, and these are for the system. So you have these three terms: open system, closed system, and isolated system. What do I mean by open system? Open system is where between system and surrounding matter as well as energy exchange can happen. Right? So for example, we had this open vessel जिसके अंदर गैस रखा है, तो गैस आ भी सकता है, जा भी सकता है, तो मैटर एक्सचेंज हो सकता है, राइट, एंड एनर्जी एक्सचेंज भी हो सकता है. लाइक इफ आई हीट दिस अप, right, then heat can go across the walls into the system and increase the temperature, right? So this is a simple example of an open vessel. Then you have something like a closed system. Closed system में क्या हो गया, यही same vessel ले लो and इस vessel को हमने अब close कर दिया है, like the gas present inside cannot escape, right? However, heat exchange can happen, right? Energy exchange can happen. Like I can have, say, a piston which I can compress or expand. That means I'm doing work. I can also heat it up. The walls are conducting and I can heat it up so that things can inside get heated up, or I can also cool down the system. So energy exchanges can happen around the system, right? But no matter exchange. Then यहां पर नोटिस करना आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम के बारे में. सो आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम के बारे में व्हाट वी आर स्टडिंग इज, यहां पर ध्यान से ऑब्जर्व करना, देयर इज नो मैटर एक्सचेंज एंड नो, आई वुड से, हीट एक्सचेंज. ठीक है, आई वुड नॉट go ahead and use the word energy. I would rather use the word heat exchange cannot take place between system and surroundings. तो यहाँ पर what you can have an example is something like the thermos flask that I was talking about, in which once closed, neither matter nor heat can escape. ठीक है, हाँ, closed system के across we can provide heat. ठीक है, that's not really a problem. ठीक है, समझ में आया? Any confusion between these three types of system, open, closed and isolated? हाँ, adiabatic and isolated, you can kind of think of it as synonymous only, like not much of a difference in them. हाँ, airtight containers would be something which will be closed, right? अब वो isolated है, वो depend करेगा कि उस system की walls कैसी हैं, like are those walls conducting or non-conducting. If those walls are non-conducting, then we will say that it is an isolated system, right? For example, if those walls के across heat exchange can happen, then we will not say it is an isolated system. ठीक है, हाँ, the reason I wrote heat, energy की जगह heat यहाँ पर पूर्णा is because we can do work even if it is an isolated system, right? So that will be one form of energy which we can still do. ठीक है, we'll see just in a bit. हाँ, नहीं, our body will be an example of an open system, because like you are inhaling, exhaling air, right? So matter exchange can happen, right? And you are also if present in a, say, colder room, then your body will be radiating heat, so energy exchange can also happen. ठीक है, हाँ, नहीं, there isn't. Okay, हर्ष का interesting question है that can there be a situation where matter can be exchanged but not energy? No, Harsh, that will not be a system that will be possible, because matter is actually a form of energy also. So that wouldn't be the case. हाँ, बोला आयुष.
So matter is another manifestation of energy, right?
Correct. All right, and हाँ, so अभी right श्रेया, तो श्रेया का क्वेश्चन है, if the fire syringe is isolated, then will the cotton ignite? So yes, I would say, Shreya, that if the fire syringe is isolated, then even if we do the process slowly, right? अभी यहाँ पर जो फायर सिरिंज का मैंने एग्जांपल आपको बताया था, राइट? तो उसमें क्रूशियल था कि हम फास्ट प्लंज करें, ठीक है? एंड दैट वाज बिकॉज वी डिडंट वांट द हीट टू एस्केप, वी वांटेड इट कि टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज हो जाए बस यहाँ पर. However, if I do the process slowly, right, then I get the opportunity for heat. I give the opportunity for heat to escape into the surroundings, and the temperature doesn't change much. So that is something which you are going to learn, like as and when we'll be discussing more and more problem solving. ठीक है? हाँ. Universe, yes, that is a fundamental assumption that we will be progressing with as part of our thermodynamics, that universe is isolated. This is, you can say, one of the, this is in fact actually if you ask me, this is the first law of thermodynamics. Agar aap mujhse pucho that another way of describing the first law of thermodynamics will be saying that universe is isolated. ठीक है? सो यहाँ पर व्हाट वी आर सेइंग इज, जो हीट सराउंडिंग से आ रही है वही सिस्टम में जा रही है, या सिस्टम से जो आ रही है वही सराउंडिंग में जा रही है. ठीक है? हाँ. नहीं नहीं, अभी तुम मल्टीवर्स में मत जाओ. ऑल राइट. हाँ बोलो सुमित. नहीं, आई डिडंट गेट योर डाउट सुमित. मतलब वो, you can raise your hand and then I'll ask you to speak up about your doubt. All right. हाँ हाँ, बॉडी सेल वॉल्स के थ्रू मैटर एक्सचेंज भी होता है. हाँ, क्या पूछ रहे हो यश? सो व्हाई देयर इज अ केस व्हेन ओनली एनर्जी कैन बी एक्सचेंज्ड? नहीं, आई डिडंट गेट योर क्वेश्चन. यू गाइस रेज योर हैंड. आई थिंक वो चैट में बहुत सारे उसमें ऐसे बिट्स एंड पीसेस में ब्रेक हो गए हैं आप लोगों के सेंटेंसेस. हाँ बोलो पृथ्वीराज.
सर आपने आइसोलेटेड में एनर्जी को काट के हीट लिखा सर. सर बट हीट के अलावा और कौन सा एक्सचेंज हो गया उसमें, अगर हम वर्क भी करेंगे तो?
हाँ, तो हम लोग अभी थोड़े टाइम में यही पढ़ने जाएंगे. मैं आपको थोड़े टाइम में इनफैक्ट, is it in this class? No, not in this class. Maybe next class I will talk about two forms of energy that we are going to discuss. One
And
will
sir,
be heat and other will be work.
सर आइसोलेटेड मतलब इज इट इन वैक्यूम स्टेट सर, क्योंकि यूनिवर्स आपने अजम्पशन दिया है.
नहीं नहीं, सो आइसोलेटेड मतलब वैक्यूम नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है वैक्यूम. मतलब इवन व्हेन वी आर सेइंग कि प्रैक्टिकली स्पीकिंग, लेट्स से ऐसा स्पोक अबाउट थर्मस फ्लास्क. तो थर्मस फ्लास्क में कैसा रहता है? यू हैव एन इनसाइड वॉल and you have an outside wall, and उनके बीच में there is a highly insulating material that is present, right?
Yes,
Something, say for example aerogel. So it is a highly insulating material, extremely light and insulating. तो अभी अंदर अगर let's say temperature 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है और बाहर 50 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है, तो ये 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड मेंटेन रहेगा.
सर तो अंदर वाला सिस्टम आइसोलेटेड हो गया.
हाँ, तो ये अंदर वाला सिस्टम आइसोलेटेड हो गया.
गॉट इट सर.
यहीं पर इंस्टेड ऑफ से aerogel, let's say there was just simple metal, ठीक है, across which heat can get exchanged. यहाँ 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड था या 40 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड था, तो in some time heat will get transferred and this will come in equilibrium with outside temperature. ये भी temperature increase होते होते almost 50 तक पहुंच जाएगा.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
ठीक है. हाँ. All right. Now, इसके अलावा any doubts into this open, closed, and isolated system? Any questions you would want to ask and understand? हाँ, यश तुम्हारा जो क्वेश्चन है is energy and matter interrelated, so then why do we talk about them separately? So you can think of it as energy is a more comprehensive way of describing things around us rather than matter. Okay, so in fact, to put it in another set of words, law of conservation of energy supersedes law of conservation of mass. Okay, so when we will be talking about energy exchanges, right, though matter is something which is a manifestation of energy only, but we will still keep or we'll still give energy a higher priority. Okay. All right. Then you have these another set of terms which you must be aware about. So you have intensive and extensive properties of a system, and इनके बारे में notice करना. ठीक है, this is something which will not come of much use in the beginning, but as we proceed in this chapter, this classification of properties into intensive and extensive does come handy. So this classification is based on this simple definition that if a certain property of a system is not dependent on its size or mass, right, then we call that property as intensive. Okay, mathematically speaking, that property is not dependent on mass. Like यहाँ पे raised to the power of 0 करा हुआ है. ठीक है, और या फिर आप size भी बोल सकते हो, size raised to the power of 0. That means that the property is independent of mass or size of the system. Okay, and we in mathematical terms call that property as non-additive. Now, इसको explain करने के लिए, let me take an example, right? So, for example, temperature would be an intensive property of the system. Now, what do I mean by this? तो उसके लिए यहाँ पर ये right hand side पे जो छोटा सा diagram बना हुआ है, इस पे focus करना. So let's say I had a system, right, and I divided that system into two parts. इसका temperature T था, तो इन दोनों systems का temperature क्या रहेगा? Will it be T by 2 or will it be the same? Right, so it will be the same temperature. Right, for example, जिस room में आप बैठे हो, right, let's say इस room में you place a separator, तो क्या दोनों जगह का temperature T by 2 हो जाएगा क्या? Sudden dip in temperature occurs, right? ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. So we are saying that this property of temperature, this is an intensive property. It does not depend upon the size or mass of the system. Like pressure also, यहाँ पे गैस रखी हुई है, उसका प्रेशर जो है सडनली ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपने रूम में एक सेपरेटर बनाया एंड अचानक से दोनों जगह पे प्रेशर P/2 हो जाएगा. ठीक है, like the pressure will be the same. That was original only when you divided the system into these two parts. So such properties are called as intensive properties. At the same time, ठीक है, ध्यान से सुनना है यहाँ पर. एट द सेम टाइम you can also come across properties which we classify as extensive. Now, what will be the definition of extensive properties? यहाँ पे notice करना, properties which depend upon size or mass of the system, and their dependence, ठीक है, उसमें भी यहाँ पे notice करना, it is crucial that their dependence is a direct proportionality. ये raised to the power of 1 होना crucial है, which results in additive nature of the properties. So for example, we look at the same test which we were doing. Let's say I have a system and uska volume V hai, right? It's a property of the system, volume. If I divide that into two parts, if I divide the system into two parts, what will happen to the volume of the two parts? It will be V by 2 and V by 2, right? So you divided the system into two parts, and as a result, the property also became half. That means there was a direct proportionality of property with the mass or size of the system. So it will be an extensive property. Okay, for example, if I talked about moles, right? So you had a system with total, say, n moles of gas present inside, and if you broke it into two parts, right? तो moles कितने हो जाएंगे? n by 2, right? समझ में आया ये? So this test is something which helps in understanding or classifying the properties into intensive versus extensive, right? So for example, let's say you do this test over the property of density. तो कैसा रहेगा? How do you classify density, as intensive or extensive? Ha, correct. So most of you have been able to give the correct answer, that density will be an intensive property, right? So if I have a system, right, यहाँ पर आप ऐसे मान के चलो ना, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स से वाटर है, राइट? वाटर रखा हुआ है सिस्टम के अंदर, उस वाटर को आप दो पार्ट्स में ब्रेक कर दोगे तो वाटर की डेंसिटी चेंज हो जाएगी क्या? ये तो अभी भी यहाँ पर 1 ग्राम पर सीसी था और यहाँ पर भी 1 ग्राम पर सीसी रहेगा, तो डेंसिटी क्या हो गया? डेंसिटी वाज एन इंटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टी, करेक्ट? लेट्स से इफ आई आस्क अबाउट रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स, राइट? आपने ऑप्टिक्स पढ़ रहे हो, तो रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स कैसा प्रॉपर्टी रहेगा? इंटेंसिव की एक्सटेंसिव? Correct. It will be an intensive property. Right? ठीक है, अभी आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है ये? तो ये एक छोटा सा टेस्ट रहता है, एंड ये तो खैर उनकी मैथमेटिकल डेफिनेशन रहती है, दैट व्हाट इज इंटेंसिव एंड एक्सटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टीज. ठीक है, ऑलराइट. नाउ अब यहाँ पर नोटिस करना, एग्जाम्पल्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मैंने यहाँ पर थोड़े एक्स्ट्रा एग्जाम्पल्स भी लिख दिए हैं, लाइक जैसे डेंसिटी, प्रेशर, टेम्परेचर, ये तो आपको समझ में आ ही गए थे. ठीक है, मोल्स, वॉल्यूम, मास, ये भी आपको समझ में आ गए थे. ठीक है, क्लासिफाइंग देम एज इंटेंसिव एंड एक्सटेंसिव वाज प्रीटी इजी. ठीक है, नहीं हमें प्रेशर कैसे चेंज हो जाएगा? आप श्रिंक नहीं कर रहे हो रूम को. मैंने आपको बोला कि आपने रूम को बीच में एक सेपरेटर लगा दिया तो दोनों तरफ प्रेशर P/2 थोड़ा रह जाएगा, 1 atm ही तो रहेगा जो पहले था। I am not shrinking the system. I'm just splitting that system into two halves. And if I do that, then will the property get half or not? समझ में आया? ठीक है। Now apart from this, notice करना, there are some more examples which we will be, or some more terms which we will be using in this chapter, and उनका मैंने अभी यहीं पर classification लिख दिया है, like for example molar heat capacity और specific heat capacity, या फिर total heat capacity, internal energy, enthalpy, Gibbs free energy, entropy, ये सारी important terms रहेंगी इस chapter की। ये हम एक एक करके आगे पढ़ेंगे। Of course अभी आपको इनके बारे में कोई आइडिया नहीं है, बट फॉर द सेक ऑफ नोट कीपिंग ये मैंने यहाँ पर ऐड करी हुई है कि चलो ठीक है, आपको बाद में ध्यान रहेगा जब आप रिविजन्स कर रहे होगे। ठीक है, सो डोंट बी बॉदर्ड अबाउट दीज टर्म्स राइट नाउ, you are going to come across these terms one by one. Right now the focus was to help you understand the definition of intensive and extensive properties. All right, then there is another classification of properties, and this time based on their nature. So we have two types in this. There will be certain properties which will be called as state functions, and there will be certain properties which will be called as path functions. Now what do we mean by state functions? यहाँ पे ध्यान से notice करना, quantities that only depend upon the state of system irrespective of the path or process used to achieve the state of system. Now what it means is that, let's say you have a system with the ideal gas present inside it, right? So your ideal gas is your system. Now it has various properties like pressure, volume, temperature, moles, density, etc etc. ठीक है, बहुत सारी properties हैं गैस की. Now these properties, some of them can be classified into state functions and some into path functions. Now what do I mean by that? State functions will be those properties that are, you can say, by the virtue of existence of that system. For example, you have an ideal gas in a system, irrespective of how you achieved it, right? You got it into this state by heating, by cooling, by expanding, by compressing. It doesn't matter. These certain properties are inherent to that state of system. So these quantities will be called as the state functions or state properties. It doesn't matter how you arrived at them. Their values are inherent to the state in which system is present. Then there are certain set of properties. For example, something like heat exchanged or work done or heat capacity, which depends on how, this system underwent a process, how the system changed. And these properties and their values will depend upon the process or the path that was taken by the system to achieve the desired state. So for example, if let's say, this gas was present and, I had to expand it. Okay, it has to expand. Now that expansion happens, say either because of heating of the gas, right? Or because of the mechanical work done on the gas, right? I might pull this piston by using mechanical work, or I might heat this system to push this piston up. So depending upon how the path or how the process that we have chosen, these quantities can have different values. Heat exchanged, work done, and such quantities are called as path function. Now, definitely, this is something of a little bit difficult to comprehend at this point in time. Reason being कि values कैसे निकालते हैं इन properties का, right? Heat का, work का, ये values आपको निकालना आता ही नहीं है. So you guys are not able to correlate well that how will they be different, right? That's a fundamental kind of contradiction in talking about state functions and path functions in the beginning of the chapter, because the definition of state function and path function becomes more clear to you once you actually know how to calculate the values, like ये values निकाली कैसे जाती हैं heat exchange की, work की, तभी तो आपको better समझ में आएगा कि अच्छा ये कैसे path पे depend कर रही है. Otherwise अभी इस situation में right now you will have to just go by my words. मैंने बोल दिया है आपको कि heat, work ये सब path function होता है, because इनकी जब हम values निकालेंगे they will depend upon how the system is undergoing a change. However, once I do tell you about how we calculate these values, then you would be better able to appreciate this classification. That okay, there are certain properties which are inherent to the system. They are called as state functions. Their values, they don't depend upon how we achieved that state of system. They are inherent to the system itself. We call them state functions. Whereas certain quantities, certain properties, their values do depend upon how we achieved that desired state of the system. And such properties are going to be called as path functions. ठीक है, अभी बस इतना definition समझ के चलो. And कैसे ये values का calculation होता है, once you get a hold of that, then you will be in a much better position to answer and understand, okay, that this property or this will be a path function, whereas what will be a state function. Now, in terms of the examples, okay, again, यहाँ पे notice करना, I have written down the examples over here: pressure, volume, temperature. This was internal energy, this was enthalpy, this was Gibbs free energy, this was entropy. ठीक है, so don't sweat on it saying that कि मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं आ रहे हैं क्या symbols लिखे हुए हैं, because ये symbols मैंने आपको पढ़ाए नहीं है, but just for the note keeping purposes मैंने यहाँ पर एक साथ लिख दिए हैं ताकि future में आपको ध्यान में रहे that okay, these were the state functions. And work done, heat exchange, heat capacities, total molar और specific heat capacities, ये सब path functions रहेंगे. क्यों रहेंगे, कैसे रहेंगे, ये मैं आपको समझाता जाऊंगा as we proceed. ठीक है. So one kind of analogy which I can give from the point of view of state function and path function is something which is not really a correct analogy, but it is still a decent analogy to help you understand state functions and path functions, right? Something called as distance versus displacement. Right, this is something that you have studied in physics. that distance traveled by an object will be dependent upon the path. Okay, whereas displacement is something which does not depend upon the path. Now, देने के लिए analogy दी जाती है, but this is not a technically correct analogy for state functions and path functions, but you get the feel of it. ठीक है? Again, conservative forces and non-conservative forces will not be a correct example of state functions and path functions, but you can say that it's a decent enough analogy to help you grasp these concepts. ठीक है? Although we are going to come across this again. ठीक है? अभी don't, as I said, don't worry about this words, total heat capacity, molar heat capacity, specific heat capacity. अभी पढ़ाऊंगा मैं, ये धीरे धीरे सब टर्म्स आपके सामने लेके आऊंगा एक एक करके. ठीक है? अच्छा, देन यहां पर ये जो काइंड ऑफ ब्लू में लिखा हुआ है, अभी इस चीज को मैं बस यहाँ पे अगेन डाल रहा हूं फॉर द नोट कीपिंग पर्पसेस, बट वी आर गोइंग टू कम अक्रॉस दिस इन अ वाइल. ठीक है? आई नीड टू एक्सप्लेन सर्टेन मोर टर्म्स फॉर यू बी एबल टू कॉम्प्रिहेंड दिस कि ये लिखा क्या है, लाइक व्हाट दिस इज फैंसी इंटीग्रल साइन विद अ रिंग अराउंड इट. लाइक इंटीग्रल नहीं समझ में आ रहा था, ये उसके अराउंड रिंग क्या बना दिया. मतलब दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच यू विल बी एबल टू कॉम्प्रिहेंड बट इन अ वाइल. थोड़ा सा हम लोग एक एक करके टर्म्स पढ़ेंगे आगे, तो यू शुड बी एबल टू गेट अ गुड ग्रिप ऑन इट. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट यहां पर नोटिस करना विल बी द डेफिनेशन ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक इक्विलिब्रियम. ठीक है? इस चैप्टर में ये इक्विलिब्रियम वर्ड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा. एंड थर्मोडायनेमिक इक्विलिब्रियम जो डेफिनेशन है, ठीक है, यहाँ पे नोटिस करना, अ सिस्टम इज सेड टू बी इन अ स्टेट ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक इक्विलिब्रियम इफ इट्स मेजरेबल और ऑब्जर्वेबल प्रॉपर्टीज डू नॉट चेंज विद टाइम. Now, what are these measurable or observable properties? Broadly speaking, we classify them into three parts. ध्यान से notice करना. One will be pressure. So we say that thermodynamic equilibrium consists of mechanical equilibrium. That means that pressure is not changing with time. Right? So you have a gas, right? अब अगर ये गैस मान लो लीक कर रहा है, ठीक है, गैस लीक कर रहा है, तो यहां इनसाइड दिस वेसल विल द प्रेशर बी कांस्टेंट. अगर ये गैस लीक कर रहा है यहां से तो नहीं रहेगा. सो इट विल नॉट बी इन द स्टेट ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम. ठीक है? सो फॉर, अगर मैं इस होल को सील कर दूं एंड इसके अंदर अब गैस प्रेजेंट है, तो will it be in a state of mechanical equilibrium? Correct. So this is what mechanical equilibrium is, that the pressure is not changing with time. Then you have thermal equilibrium. This is also an important aspect of thermodynamic equilibrium, right? Thermal equilibrium क्या है? That temperature is not changing with time. ठीक है? सो यहां पर आप मान के चलो नहीं, लेट्स से, ठीक है, ध्यान से यहां पे सुनना. You had, I'm trying to give you an example. ये मैंने एरोजेल भर दिया है. एरोजेल मतलब इंसुलेटिंग मटेरियल. ठीक है? दिस इज कंप्लीटली इंसुलेटेड. एंड नाउ, ठीक है, अभी यहां पर टेम्परेचर मान लो 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है, राइट? ठीक है, ये टेम्परेचर 20 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड था and this temperature is constant. It is not changing with respect to what? With respect to time. Okay, right now. Now I push down. Okay, I push down and the temperature increases. And finally, it becomes say 50 degrees centigrade. And then I stop pushing the piston and the temperature becomes a constant value, say 50 degrees centigrade. So let me ask you this question. Was the system in equilibrium state before I started the process? Correct. The answer is yes. Is the system in equilibrium at the end of the process? Correct. Was इसका आंसर भी yes है. Was the system in equilibrium during the process? Correct. The answer is no. क्योंकि during the process the temperature was changing. ठीक है. So initially the system was in equilibrium in a given state. Finally it was also in equilibrium in another state, right? And what we define as process is going from one state of equilibrium to another state of equilibrium. Okay. However, during the process the system was not in equilibrium. Okay. All right, so this was one aspect of thermal equilibrium, as in thermodynamic equilibrium. And there is a third aspect also. This is also very crucial. This aspect actually comes of a role when we are going to study chemical reactions, right? Reactant product में जा रहा है, ठीक है? तो before the reaction there is chemical equilibrium. Before the reaction starts, that जो भी reactants हैं उनका concentration, उनके moles etc. change नहीं हो रहे हैं. After the reaction, ठीक है, after the reaction जो products बन गए उनके moles अब constant है, उनकी concentration अब constant है, it is not changing with time, right? So before the reaction there is an equilibrium, after the reaction there is an equilibrium. ठीक है. Sometimes it can be in between also, ठीक है, but during the reaction, right, during the reaction we will say that it is not in the state of equilibrium. समझ में आया? हाँ. So chemical equilibrium is something which we'll be discussing more in the context of reactions. That before the reaction कैसा था? Reactant present था. मान लो ये reaction हो रहा है, ठीक है? Let's say HCl and NaOH is giving NaCl plus H2, right? तो यहाँ पर ये मेरी initial situation है. There is one container of HCl, there is one container of NaOH, right? एक क्या इनका concentration change हो रहा है with time? Is their concentration changing with time? The answer is no, right? So before the reaction they are in equilibrium. ठीक है. Now if I mix them together, ठीक है, and the reaction occurs, वैसे तो ये super fast reaction है, ठीक है. So let's say after a minute if I look at this vessel and look at the products that are formed and look at their concentrations, will their concentrations change? Not even after the reaction. So after this reaction also, are we in the state of equilibrium? Correct. We are in the state of equilibrium after the reaction. However, during the reaction, during those fraction of seconds, ये तो खैर काफी fast reaction है, इसलिए I have to use the word fraction of seconds. During those fraction of seconds when the reaction was happening, we were not in the state of equilibrium. ठीक है? During the reaction. All right. So thermodynamic equilibrium ka, as a quick recap, the definition is you have mechanical equilibrium, thermal equilibrium and chemical equilibrium. All three together, okay, all three together is what we mean by thermodynamic equilibrium. Concentration मतलब moles upon volume. Molarity आप मान के चलो 60 तक. That is the simplest I can tell you about concentration. ठीक है? हाँ. Aryan, when we talk about state functions and path functions, no, these are certain properties, associated with system that we classify into state or path function. ठीक है? ये तो हमारी एक अलग definition है कि thermodynamic equilibrium क्या होता है. ठीक है? All right. So this was one set of definition. Then next हम लोग एक और set of definitions पढ़ेंगे, which are regarding the word process. So what do we mean by process? ठीक है, I have been using that word quite often, but let me also take a minute to elaborate more on that word process. So it is the path or method taken to go from one initial state of thermodynamic equilibrium to another final state of thermodynamic equilibrium. Right? So for example, compressing a gas is a process. Heating a gas is a process. Melting of ice into water is a process. A chemical reaction from reactants to products is a process. So there will be a variety of processes that we are going to come across, and for all such processes we are interested in understanding energy exchanges. कितना हीट लगेगा, कितना हीट रिलीज होगा, कितना वर्क करना पड़ेगा या कितना वर्क होगा, like all of that will happen, right? For example, in automobiles, right, in automobiles thermodynamic processes happen. कैसा? फ्यूल बर्न होता है. ठीक है, फ्यूल बर्न होने से क्या होता है? फ्यूल बर्न होने से like it is a chemical reaction that happens, जिसकी वजह से पिस्टन, ठीक है, जो एक्चुअली एयर होती है, और इनफैक्ट गैस आई शुड से, एयर इनसाइड द इंजन, दैट विल एक्सपैंड. उसकी वजह से पिस्टन ऊपर नीचे जाएगा, राइट? सो वन thermodynamic process, then another thermodynamic processes, then another thermodynamic processes all happen in conjugation with each other, and that makes up for a more complex process. So right now when we are going to be allowing a camphor to go into vapor phase, allowing dry ice to get into CO2 gas, this is all a process. Okay, and complicated things around us, for example an engine or a refrigerator or an air conditioner, these are made up of many processes happening together. Okay, they are designed in a way that they become useful to us. But in sub में, there are certain, you can break down any complicated machine in front of you and break it down into fundamental processes and study it through this chapter. ठीक है, तो इस चैप्टर में हम कुछ सिंपल प्रोसेसेस के ऊपर स्टडी करना शुरू करेंगे एक एक करके, ठीक है. एज सच इफ यू आस्क मी हाउ मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोसेस आर देयर, ठीक है, इफ यू आस्क मी दिस सिंपल काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन दैट सर कैन यू टेल मी हाउ मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोसेस आर देयर, माय आंसर विल बी इनफाइनाइट. देयर आर इनफाइनाइट टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोसेसेस. However, to develop basic understanding of what kind of processes are going to be there, we'll start with understanding some of them in this chapter itself, one by one, basic ones. So for example, isobaric process, right? Isobaric process is a process in which pressure of the system is constant. Now, this is something which you have learned or have discussed it in gaseous state chapter also, right? So if say I'll like to demonstrate certain examples. So for example, if you are heating a gas in an open vessel, right, तो उसमें कैसा रहता है, pressure constant रहता है, ठीक है. और if you are heating a gas in a closed vessel with a flexible boundary, right, something like this, तो उसमें भी कैसा रहेगा, P internal is equal to P external is equal to constant ही रहेगा. आप हीट करोगे तो उससे क्या हो जाता है, वॉल्यूम बढ़ जाता है, ठीक है. और यू हैव अ बलून लाइक अ थिन मेम्ब्रेन बलून, राइट. इसमें भी अपन ने यही पढ़ा था कि प्रेशर इंटरनल इज इक्वल टू प्रेशर एक्सटर्नल इज इक्वल टू कांस्टेंट, राइट. सो दिस विल बी सर्टेन एग्जांपल्स ऑफ आइसोबैरिक प्रोसेसेस. Pressure remains constant. You come across isochoric processes also, right? What is isochoric? That volume remains constant, right? For example, if you are heating a gas in a closed rigid vessel, like rigid vessel है, उसकी boundaries flexible नहीं है, तो it will be an example of an isochoric process. You come across isothermal processes. Isothermal processes क्या है? That the temperature is constant, right? So for example, let's say you have a vessel in which a gas is present, but उस vessels की wall जो है वो perfectly conducting है, like maybe metal will be a good example. There is no such thing as perfect, but from the point of view of theory, we will still keep that in mind, saying that okay, you have a vessel and it is say metal walls. So what will happen is that heat can get exchanged quite comfortably, right? तो अंदर की गैस का टेम्परेचर बाहर के टेम्परेचर के साथ में काफी क्लोज रहेगा, ठीक है. इवन इफ लेट्स से you compressed it, you compress the gas, you did some work on it to raise its temperature, but because the walls are conducting, right, whatever work you did can go in heat and get dissipated into the surroundings, and the temperature of the gas doesn't change, it remains equal to the temperature of surrounding only, ठीक है. हाँ बोलो रावी, आपको कुछ मिस हो गया? ठीक है. Okay. Then you come across adiabatic processes. Adiabatic process is the one which is a word that is used for isolated also, right? What does that mean? That there is no heat exchanged between system and surrounding. Like you have a vessel which has perfectly insulating walls. Like there is no heat that can escape it. And we will call such process as an adiabatic process. Then there is another word or another term that you should be aware about, and that is called as a cyclic process. Now, what is meant by a cyclic process? The word cyclic process means that the system returns back to the original state. That is the only requirement. ठीक है, you started off from one particular state, से ये A state से आपने start किया, इस पर कुछ pressure था, कुछ volume था, and then you did some changes over it. ठीक है, कुछ fancy changes आपने करे, pressure, volume change करे, temperature change करे, doesn't matter कैसे करे, ठीक है, you could like do it via certain standard processes, certain non-standard processes, doesn't matter. End में if you come back to the original state, I will call this as a cyclic process. A system returns back to the original state. ठीक है, हाँ, नहीं इसमें यश isolated word and adiabatic word will be used synonymously. We will be using adiabatic and isolated word, you know, interchangeably. इतना फर्क नहीं है दोनों में. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. हाँ, एडियाबैटिक का मैंने आपको बताया ना, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल लेट्स से यू हैड अ गैस, राइट, which was present in a vessel and that vessel is you know completely insulated. Like यहाँ पे ऐसे एरोजेल डाल के इसको इंसुलेट कर दिया है कि अंदर बाहर का टेम्परेचर चेंज हो ही नहीं सकता. ठीक है, सॉरी, हीट एक्सचेंज नहीं हो सकता, अंदर बाहर हीट एक्सचेंज नहीं हो सकता. बट इफ यू लाइक कंप्रेस दिस गैस, ठीक है, तो इसका टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा क्योंकि आप वर्क कर रहे हो ना इस पे, यू आर डूइंग एक्सटर्नल वर्क which raises its temperature. However, because it is insulated, it is isolated, there will be no heat exchange and the temperature will keep on increasing if you keep on pushing the piston. ठीक है, हाँ, नहीं गैस एक्सपैंड भी कर सकता है ना. मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल मान लो यहाँ पर ये गैस था और इसके ऊपर 2 ब्लॉक्स रखे हुए थे जिसकी वजह से ये कंप्रेस था, एंड इफ आई रिमूव वन ऑफ द ब्लॉक्स तो फिर क्या हो जाएगा, गैस एक्सपैंड कर जाएगा. ठीक है, Q stands for heat. Q will be the symbol that we will be using for heat. ठीक है, I'll be defining it separately. ठीक है, बट आपको एक बेसिक आइडिया तो है ही सही, that heat is the energy exchange because of temperature difference. ठीक है, so we are going to talk about that. Alright, so ये type of processes समझ में आया आप लोगों को? ठीक है, नाउ अब नोटिस करना, ठीक है, as I said that these were some standard ones, isobaric, isochoric. ठीक है, इनका ये ग्राफ नोटिस करना, मैंने भी ग्राफ्स आपको नोटिस नहीं करवाए थे, बट अब आप यहाँ पे स्पेशली P वर्सेस V ग्राफ पे नोटिस करना कि ये प्रोसेसेस कैसे दिखते हैं. सो इफ यू हैव अ आइसोबेरिक प्रोसेस तो P वर्सेस V ग्राफ पे कैसा दिख रहा है, it is looking like a horizontal line, like because the pressure is going to be constant. What about isochoric process? Again on a PV graph it is going to look like a vertical line because volume is constant. ठीक है, प्रेशर इंक्रीज भी हो सकता है, डिक्रीज भी हो सकता है. ठीक है, आइसोथर्मल कैसा दिखता है ऑन अ पीवी ग्राफ? You guys have seen this. How does an isothermal process look on a PV graph? Ha, correct. Right, Purna, right, Yash. It's an hyperbolic graph, right? Rectangular hyperbola. ठीक है, that is how isothermal processes. What about adiabatic processes? Any guesswork? How do adiabatic processes look like on a PV graph? कुछ कुछ रैंडम आंसर्स आ रहे हैं तो ओके, इट विल बी अ हाइपरबोला बट नॉट अ रेक्टेंगुलर हाइपरबोला. ठीक है, आई वुड से हाइपरबोलिक बट नॉट अ रेक्टेंगुलर. एक्चुअली आप लोगों को शायद ये चीज समझ में ही नहीं आया बिकॉज आप लोगों ने रेक्टेंगुलर हाइपरबोला पढ़ा नहीं है. ठीक है, बट इसमें I would like to mention, ठीक है, we are going to study these adiabatic processes in detail. ठीक है, इसमें प्लीज नोटिस करना टेम्परेचर इज नॉट कांस्टेंट. ठीक है, we are going to discuss them. हीट एक्सचेंज होगा बट टेम्परेचर कांस्टेंट नहीं रहेगा. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पर rather than using the word rectangular, I would say hyperbolic, but temperature is not constant. ठीक है, thus it's different from isothermal. ठीक है, in fact I am going to ask you to compare isothermal and adiabatic processes but in due time. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा आपको फर्स्ट लॉ वगैरह पढ़ाकर I'll be asking you to do those comparisons. ठीक है, हाँ, ऑल राइट. तो ये आपके प्रोसेसेस रहेंगे एंड साइक्लिक प्रोसेस तो मैंने आपको बताया, इट कैन बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ एनी रैंडम प्रोसेसेस, some known one, some unknown one, doesn't matter. All we need to know is that the system needs to return back to the original state. ठीक है, इस तरीके से ये रहेगा. ठीक है, now अब इसके बाद में we have another classification of processes into reversible and irreversible. ठीक है, however ये थोड़ा important है. ठीक है, it is something which would require me at least half an hour. ठीक है, ये अपने आप में बहुत important concept है. Like nature of processes is really really important. You might not realize it in the beginning. ठीक है, but it is something which is extremely important. So I would take this up in the next class. I will start from here itself in the next class. And हम लोग यहीं से continue करेंगे. In the meantime, those who are interested can ask me questions from chemical bonding. Those who are feeling hungry, want to have their dinner, can leave. I don't mind. आप बाद में मुझसे अपने डाउट्स पूछ सकते हो. हाँ, बोलो पृथ्वीराज.
तो मेरा एक ही डाउट है सर, वो O2 का फॉर्मेशन और वो पैरामैग्नेटिक क्यों है? सर मुझे नहीं समझ आया.
पैरामैग्नेटिज्म किससे रिलेटेड होता है?
सर कि नंबर ऑफ अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है कि नहीं?
Correct. So when we drew the molecular orbital diagram of oxygen gas, did we come across unpaired electrons present in O2?
Yes sir. So but my doubt is in the 1s and 2s orbitals, the anti-bonding and the bonding electrons, they cancel out each other. So but the 1s and 2p sir, आपने anti-bonding में सिर्फ 2 दिखाए थे सर, मुझे वो समझ नहीं आया क्यों.
नहीं, क्या दिखाए थे?
सर एंटी-बॉन्डिंग में आपने रेड में ऊपर बॉक्स बनाया था सर 2p में. सर लेक्चर नंबर 19 था सर, लास्ट वीक ही था.
हाँ हाँ, तो वो आपने फिलिंग करा ना उसमें, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ये O2 का कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है.
यस सर.
एनर्जी, अब इसमें आप इलेक्ट्रॉन्स फिल करोगे, 16 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स फिल करना है.
यस सर.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10। ठीक है, अब इसके बाद 100 रूल लगेगा क्योंकि ये दोनों सेम एनर्जी के हैं।
यस सर।
तो यहां तक 10 हो गए, 11 12 फिर 13 14। समझ में आया?
यस सर।
अब मैं नेक्स्ट हायर एनर्जी पे जा रहा हूँ, 100 रूल लगेगा फिर भी क्योंकि यहाँ पे डिजेनरेट ऑर्बिटल्स हैं।
तो 1 और 1
तो 15 16।
अभी गॉट इट सर।
ठीक है, हाँ बोलो यश।
वेस्पर थियरी में हमने डबल बॉन्ड या ट्रिपल बॉन्ड को एक सिंगल सुपर बॉन्ड कंसिडर किया था ना।
हाँ,
पर इधर एक क्वेश्चन था कि मल्टीपल बॉन्ड्स आल्सो इन्फ्लुएंस द ज्योमेट्री ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल,
मल्टीपल बॉन्ड्स आल्सो
इन्फ्लुएंस द ज्योमेट्री ऑफ अ मॉलिक्यूल।
हाँ हाँ, that is why like we went in a progressive manner from VSEPR to VBT.
यस सर। सो सर कैसे इन्फ्लुएंस होता है?
हाँ, जैसे अरे अपन ने ये एग्जांपल देखा था ना, डू यू रिमेम्बर वो F2 ऐसा C डबल बॉन्ड C ये वाला एग्जांपल याद है?
हाँ यस सर।
तो इसमें लाइक ये फ्लोरीन सेम प्लेन में रहेंगे कि नहीं रहेंगे वो VSEPR नहीं बता पाता।
हाँ सर, पर वो एंगल से क्या रिलेशन है?
मतलब एंगल से भी रिलेशन रहता है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आप जैसे HCHO का एग्जांपल लो, राइट? तो यहाँ पे क्योंकि डबल बॉन्ड प्रेजेंट है तो
यस सर।
उसकी वजह से रिपल्शन ज्यादा होंगे तो ये एंगल 120 डिग्री से कम आ जाता है ना।
ओके सर। सो जितना इलेक्ट्रॉन डेंसिटी बढ़ेगा वही रीजन हो गया है ना इधर भी।
हाँ,
ओके थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है। थर्ड एग्जांपल ऑफ आइसोबेरिक में मतलब वो तो सार्थक जिसमें इतना ही बता रहा था, बलून, लाइक यू हैव अ बलून, उसको भी हम लोग आइसोबेरिक की तरह ट्रीट करते हैं। थिन मेम्ब्रेन बलून है, इसके अंदर गैस रखी है, अब आप इसको हीट अप कर रहे हो तो क्या हो रहा है, इसका वॉल्यूम बढ़ जा रहा है, प्रेशर अंदर बाहर का सेम ही है, इक्वल टू एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर ओनली। ये तो मैंने गैसियस स्टेट में भी करा ही था ना सार्थक। ठीक है, ऑलराइट, एनी अदर डाउट गाइस? हाँ, क्वेश्चन 12 ऑफ गेट इक्विप टू मींस, एक मिनट बोलना। Question 12 of get equipped to means, अच्छा बॉर्न हेवर साइकिल ना, ये अब इनफैक्ट इट इज नॉट इवन सिमिलर टू व्हाट वी हैव स्टडीड, इनफैक्ट इट इज अ बिट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम व्हाट आई हैव डिस्क्राइब्ड टू यू इन बॉर्न हेवर साइकिल इन द क्लास। तो इसके लिए आप थर्मोकेमिस्ट्री का थोड़ा सा वेट कर लो पूर्ण, ठीक है, बिकॉज थर्मोकेमिस्ट्री में वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्क्राइब दिस क्वांटिटी, ये जो डेल्टा एच एफ लिखा है ना, व्हाट इट मींस, एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन कहते हैं इसको। तो हाउ डू वी डिफाइन दिस एंथैल्पी ऑफ फॉर्मेशन विल बी द डेफिनेशन दैट विल बी स्टडीइंग इन थर्मोडायनेमिक्स। ठीक है, ये जो लिखा है दिस इज आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी, ये जो लिखा है दिस इज इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन एंथैल्पी, लाइक वो सिंबल्स उन्होंने थोड़े से ऐसे आउट ऑफ द ब्लू यूज कर लिया है, which are not something which honestly speaking I would expect you to be able to understand without any like in-depth knowledge of thermochemistry. So struggling with that question is fairly normal. However, once we study thermodynamics you will be good to go with that question. ठीक है, हाँ आयुष, thermal energy is what we relate with the kinetic energy, correct? हाँ, तो अगर पूर्ण आपको वो समझ में आ गया है ना, So usme I think one of the things which is still incorrect even after understanding is कि शायद इसमें they have taken the incorrect definition of lattice energy. मैंने आपको इसे क्लास में बताया था ना कि in some books they define lattice energy as the energy required to break the lattice into its constituent gaseous ions, but NCERT defines it the opposite way, that it is the energy released when 1 mole of lattice is formed from its constituent gaseous ions. So that is where I think पीछे आंसर में शायद opposite sign लेके दिया हुआ है, ऐसा कुछ है इस क्वेश्चन में. There is some screw up that is there in this question, but good that you identified it and understood. So you choose the definition of lattice energy, which is as per what we have done in the class, as per the NCERT, that it is the energy released when 1 mole of ionic solid is to be formed. ठीक है? All right. Then FBO का question number 19 पूछ रहा तुम यश. Okay. MOT का. हाँ ये तो वही अपन ने क्लास में डिस्कस किया था ना, that bonding वाले में एनर्जी डिक्रीज करती है, ठीक है, because of bonding molecular orbitals, right? There is a decrease in the energy that happens, right? And इसका रीजन क्या बताया था अपन ने, that इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के मिलने की प्रोबेबिलिटी बढ़ जाती है between the nucleus, ठीक है. And anti bonding में the energy, it just when the atoms come closer, anti bonding में energy increase करती है, it doesn't decrease. रीजन भी एंटी बॉन्डिंग में इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के मिलने की प्रोबेबिलिटी बिटवीन द न्यूक्लियस कम हो जाती है, तो क्या हो जाएगा, न्यूक्लियस न्यूक्लियस के रिपल्शंस की वजह से एनर्जी इंक्रीज करती है, राइट. सो दिस बिकम्स योर आंसर, ठीक है. इनफैक्ट आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, इस साल का आई थिंक जेईई एडवांस्ड 2020 में इसी के ऊपर क्वेश्चन था, ठीक है, in a much different manner, but the underlying concept was this only. ठीक है. All right. Any other doubt, guys? Any other question? ठीक है. All right. Then we'll resume from this part, nature of processes, in the next class, which is tomorrow morning itself. Till then, take care. Thank you. Good night.